Last time we took a tour of Yale University and I talked about my uncle John, who was a professor at Yale University. And at the end, I mentioned the Tree of Life as it relates to science and evolution, and also in religion. So today we're going to look more into that. We're going to be looking at different cultures, and we're also going to visit some places around the area, and we're also going to be looking at places beyond this area and around the world. The evidence of science can't be denied, but also the connections of the spirit can't be denied. The Tree of Life, the scientific Tree of Life of evolution, and the spiritual Tree of Life found in many religions. The eternal Tree of Life. Here's a picture of my Uncle John and his wife Nancy. He's the one who discovered the Deinonychus, a key discovery in the evolution of dinosaurs. One of John's inspirations in becoming an archaeologist was Darwin's book On the Origin of Species. Darwin wrote the book in 1859, which had his lifetime study of evolution. And in it, he had a diagram that showed how species are connected and how each species has a common ancestor. This diagram is called Darwin's Tree of Life. In 1994, we took a trip to Mexico to see the Mayan pyramids at Chichen Itza. That's me in the funny hat. Every equinox, thousands gather to see the shadow of the snake Quetzalcoatl make its way down the pyramid. We toured several pyramid sites with a Mayan shaman named Hunbut's Men. He showed us many hieroglyphs and explained the meaning of them. And During that, he explained how we are connected to the Mayan version of the Tree of Life. The Mayan Tree of Life, or the soul, resembles the Kabbalah, which is a Jewish tradition adopted from Hinduism. Just like with the Kabbalah, the Mayan soul has centers in the body and then centers above, which connect the soul to the Tree of Life. This is the Path of Life garden. Looks like they have their own Stonehenge. Which way do I go? Looks like a maze. This is like the hedge maze in Harry Potter. The family tree circle. So this is the garden, like the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden there were many trees. The Tree of Life, the Tree of Knowledge, and trees that brought forth fruit, food for man to eat. And the fruit of the Tree of Life brings eternal life. The fruit of the Tree of Knowledge brings knowledge. But knowledge brings solitude, separation from the Tree of Life. Along the Tree of Life there are many evolutionary steps that led to the Tree of Knowledge. So how does the story of creation fit into evolution? In Christianity, the Tree of Life first appears in Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. And it reads, "And out of the ground made the Lord to grow every tree that is good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge." This is part of the creation story. Adam and Eve were placed in the Garden of Eden. In other words, man was born by the Tree of Life. Adam was free to partake of the fruit of any tree, including the Tree of Life. But along with all other creatures, he could not partake of the fruit of the Tree of Knowledge. But Eve partook of the fruit of the Tree of Knowledge. In other words, Eve evolved. And therefore, Adam followed Eve. But once they evolved and were capable of knowledge and language, they became accountable for the knowledge, and therefore separated from the Tree of Life and the Garden of Eden. Jesus came to pave the way for man to return to the Tree of Life. In Hinduism, we never left the Tree of Life, because the branches of the Tree of Life are the whole earth, according to the Bhagavad Gita, written in 500 BCE. In the 15th discourse, Lord Krishna compares the ultimate source of the visible universe to an inverted tree, with the fruits, leaves, and branches coming from the earth, and the roots reaching down from heaven.
Three and then I'll snap. Ready?
Here we are at the Boston Temple for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Each temple has a theme. The Boston Temple's theme is the Tree of Life. At the Boston Temple, members have the opportunity to be sealed to families for time in all eternity. This is where we are connected to the Tree of Life. This is why Latter-day Saints have such an interest in genealogy. This is my family tree, going back 4 generations. The family tree is a branch of the Tree of Life. Oostrum in Dutch means east stream. The Oostrum line goes back to the Netherlands in the 1600s, and the Netherlands also has a town named Oostrum. In 2017, I had the opportunity to go to the Netherlands and to visit some of these places. We all come from different cultures and backgrounds, and that should be celebrated. Culture is an extension of the human family, and as we learn more about the history and culture of others and of our own history and our own culture, and we share those with others, we gain a better understanding of how we are all one big family, how the human family is all connected, and how we are all connected to the Tree of Life.